Gotta get more followers.
Hello everyone, Canadian Futures Trader here. Today's video going to be talking about 5 ways to improve your day trading. Now I'm a futures trader myself, but I think a lot of these would apply to other realms of day trading as well. Stocks, options, forex, crypto, whatever else you might trade. Guys, before we get started, my website, CanadianFuturesTrader.ca, links down below if you're in the future space or interested in it. Be sure to check out my website. Keep up to date on the latest and greatest trader evaluation, promos, and deals. Also got free futures course, 100% free. I have nothing to sell whatsoever. No upsell, nothing. Totally free. I have a ton of articles about futures trading, software I use, etc. So if you want to learn more about futures trading, be sure to check out my site. All right, quick rundown of my background for those who aren't familiar with me. I started trading futures just in early 2020. Before that, I spent several months researching futures trading, the various funded futures programs, trading methodology, what do you look for to get into a trade. I started a YouTube channel later in 2020, actually almost at the end of the year. I was going through several trader evaluations. I just wanted a way to kind of show my progress and kind of hold myself accountable, if you will, and had a few people join and start watching. It was kind of fun. I started a website then in 2021 with all the information. I found with YouTube I was getting asked a lot of questions. So I thought, I'll start a website as a resource for futures traders. Then later in 2021, I launched the free course that I mentioned that's on my site. I trade primarily the U.S. Treasury bonds and notes. So the course is a little bit focused around that, but there is other kind of generic trader info as well. And I have passed trader evaluations with various companies in excess of over $1 million. And it says on here, I haven't had a real job in quotes since 2007. Left the corporate world in 2007. I've been on my own ever since. Did a lot of consulting. Was higher level, C-level, as they say, executive in companies, but hated going to work. And finally got around to what I wanted to try since I was a college kid, get into trading. Finally got around to it. So before we start, I'm going to say up front, trading is not easy. Most people fail. There's disclaimers in the video description, and then there's also a link to my website that has the full disclaimer all about how risky futures trader is. You're going to lose all of your money. So in this video, I'm not going into details of specific trade setups. I'm not trying to give you, 5 ways that you can make money futures trading. It's not that type of video. This is more high level concepts, what I personally feel helped me. So you might have feedback. You might say, oh, there's these other things too. I'm sure there's a million ways out there to improve day trading. I'm trying to give you the 5 things that I did that really helped me, because I struggled like everybody else the first few years. But what I did, and we'll kind of get to it, is I picked off a few things, worked on them really hard, improved on those aspects, and then moved on to the next, and just continually look to improve as a trader. And I want you to keep an open mind. If you're watching this video, there's a good chance you found this video because you were searching for ways to improve your day trading. So again, I'm not giving you specific setups. If that's what you're looking for, you're going to have to look for a different video. If you're looking for some more kind of high-level, touchy-feely type of stuff, then you are in the right place. So the first thing I recommend is you just master one product. I see so many people trying to be a jack of all trades, and they ultimately end up being a master of none, as the saying goes. You're really dividing your attention and you're missing out on all the details. So kind of the third point here, think of somebody who's trading, NQ and CL and UB. And if you're not familiar with the futures world, these are just different product codes. If you trade options, these might be 3 different companies. If this was forex, it might be 3 different forex pairs, etc. 3 very different products, and you're trying to be an expert at all of them. I really don't think it works. I see so many people doing this. Again, this is just my opinion. Trading got a lot better when I decided to focus specifically on treasuries, and then I even narrowed it down a little bit more, and I focused mainly on one treasury product, which has been the Ultra Bond. I encourage people to learn more than just the basics. Master the product, understand what the contract is, what is it that you're actually trading, think about what market dynamics actually make the price move, what's the supply and the demand. Now, a lot of people, again, this is why I say keep your open mind. They might look at this and say, I don't need to know all that. I'm here just to trade and make money. Well, if you're not succeeding at trading, maybe you want to listen up and try something new. And I put an example down here, Ultra Bond. A lot of people started trading the Ultra Bond, I noticed, after, I'd kind of put out some videos and was having a lot of success with it. So all of a sudden, everybody was on the Ultra Bond trade. Do you actually know what the Ultra Bond is? Ask yourself that. I would love for someone, I've yet for someone to explain to me, what does the Ultra Bond, say December contract actually represent? And most people can't do that. Other products as well. Ask a crude oil trader, okay, crude oil contract, how many barrels of crude oil is that for? I'm willing to bet 80% of the people have no idea what it is. They know it's crude oil, and that's all they know. They don't understand what the product, the specifics are of the contracts. Again, that might not help you trade, but I think if you take that step to show the interest and actually learn about what you're trading, it shows the dedication, and it kind of gets you involved a little bit more, and you can think about it from a little bit different aspect. So my second point is to master one setup. So you've decided on one product you're going to trade. Focus on mastering one setup/plan. So similar idea. Stop being a jack of all trades. I see people who just chase a product all over. Oh, it's going up, I'm going to go long. Oh, it's falling now, I'm going to go short. And I just see this all day online. Traders just trading all day, chasing the price around. They don't even have a specific thing they're looking for. So I encourage you to actually have a specific setup. And that's just step one. What are the conditions that will lead to you entering a trade? And if you can't, verbalize that, then you have a problem. Invest the time to get really, really great at one setup. Now I know, here's the problem that a lot of people run into. They want to make a lot of money fast, and they think they have to trade their heart out, trade as many products as they can, trade all the setups. It doesn't work that way. That's a quick way to just chase your tail and be up, down, have huge variance swings. If you actually invest the time, and yeah, you're going to have to spend some time up front and get really good at one product and then one setup to trade that product, that is starting to work towards a blueprint that will actually make you money in the long term. So stop being impatient, chasing the market. Let the market come to you. That's part of having a setup. You have a set of conditions you're looking for, and if they aren't there, you don't trade. Anyone that's watched any of my trading videos, I take very, very few trades. I can't remember if I mentioned this later, but I trade at most 5 trades in a day, give or take. Some days none. So actually, I do think I mentioned it a little bit later. So if you're out there just hammering it, trading, chasing every movement in the market, I'm gonna say you're not actually on the path to being a successful future trader or any type of trader. So know what you're looking for, what are the parameters of your entry, and then you got to take it a step further. Once you're in the trade, what's the plan? Are you setting a static take profit, a static stop loss? You going to trail the stop loss? You have no stop loss? What has to happen for you to either take profit or to take a loss in the trade and move to the next one? And that's, you have to first develop the setups and figure out and test what works for you to really be able to lock in then what the specific plan is after being in the trade. So first I would just say, figure out what it is that are your triggers to enter a trade, then figure out what are your triggers to get out of the trade. So number 3, set goals. Now you can set goals in a lot of different ways. One thing I will do is I'm going to encourage you to not be financial goals. If your goal is, I'm going to make $1 million this year trading, you are not going to succeed. It's too vague. It doesn't have a roadmap. It very much, again, goes back to kind of all this life planning type of frou-frou type of stuff. And, I'm not super into that stuff, but I can say from experience, a lot of it works. If you say, I want to make $1 million and that's it, you're probably not going to, because you don't know how you're going to get there. You need to set a goal and then figure out the roadmap to get there. So in terms of setting goals, and beyond that, I would say just don't set financial goals. Your goal should be to become the best trader that you can. I've written a few here, and I'm going to talk about them in a second. But you ultimately, if you set the right pieces in place, the financial rewards just come from that. Stop focusing on the financial rewards. Just know that they come from being a good trader. So work on being a good trader. So a few ideas. And these are things, again, I go back to what I said at the beginning. These are all things I did myself. Improve on your win rate. I was, very adamant about knowing my statistics. What's my win rate? What's my average winner? What's my average loser? Okay, that's over time. How do I improve these things? To get that level of kind of statistics available to you, you're going to have to actually track your trades, journaling, and the statistics. Highly encourage you to use some type of either program that tracks it for you, or one where you can download your trades and upload it. If you're just relying on writing stuff down, too easy to go, oh, that was a bad trade, I'm just going to forget that one, then you're not doing yourself any favor. But if you use, so I use a program called Journalytics. It automatically pulls all my trades. Every time I make a trade, it automatically pulls it. So at any point, I can go to Journalytics and look at my stats, and I can set the time frames, run all kinds of cool reports. But that allowed me to then go, okay, my win rate is whatever. Say it was 60% at the time. Okay, I want to work on getting that up to 65%. Okay, and that's going to be the sole thing I work on for the next month. I just want to get that up to 65%. Okay, well, what does that mean? Oh, that means I probably need to be a little bit more selective. You know, when I'm taking each trade, I'm thinking about that win rate. And I'm thinking, okay, like if this goes against me, it's going to like bring that win rate down. So I really want to make sure I want to be in this trade because I want this trade to be a winner. I want to improve my win rate. And that's how you start thinking about things. You don't start thinking, oh, I'm going to make X amount of dollars. Improve on, you know, the fine tuning of your trading, and that will lead to the finances. These were the few things I worked on specifically to start improving win rate, improving the average loss, or reducing, I should say, the average loss per trade. You know, if I was losing, and I like to think of things in terms of ticks. So if I was losing, whatever, 3 ticks a trade on average, let's reduce that to 2.5. I trade the treasury so they don't move in big increments of ticks. So a reduction from an average of 3 to 2.5 is actually, you know, a substantial one. Also, you're going to have to take the proper amount of time to do this. This isn't like an overnight thing. It's not like you just go wake up on a Thursday and go, oh, you know what, I'm going to improve my win rate today. Oh, look, it got a little bit better. Great, well, I'm done with that. It doesn't work that way. You have to pick on something. I would say at least work on it for a month, if not longer. I think a month is at least fair. Like if you're willing to dedicate a month to work on one thing and you can see the progress, terrific. And then maybe you either keep working on that, or maybe then you say, okay, I'm going to, you know, continue what I'm doing with that, but I'm also going to work on now this second thing. Again, this is like an investment of time. This is not a do these 5 things tomorrow and you're going to be rich. I hate to tell you, if you're still here and you're listening, hopefully you're kind of committed to the idea of actually working on improving your trading. And I'm telling you, if you put in the work and go about it in a methodical way, it will pay off. So number 4, trade less. I think this is the big one, both in terms of number of trades and the hours traded. I already kind of alluded to this. Again, I'm a perfect case study. I take 5 trades a day at most, and I trade for 4 hours a day and seldom on Fridays. So I trade from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Monday to Thursday. That's it. Sure, once in a while I'll pop in on an afternoon. If I'm completely bored in the evening, I'll look and see, but I'm talking very seldom. My kind of set hours are those 4 hours a day. So why is that? Well, it allows you to really focus and, you know, focus on sniping high probability trades. One thing early on that I did is I really thought of trading as being a sniper. You are sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting until you see the perfect setup, and then you pick it off. And if you're wrong, you get the hell out of there. So a lot of people, again, they're treating like being a gambler. They're just chasing it around. Oh, you know, and then they get that reward, right? They're going to be right. The thing is, you're either right or you're wrong. There's only 2 outcomes. You know, either a trade goes against you or it goes in your favor. So unfortunately, some traders get lucky enough that it keeps them in the game, but then they take those losses, but then they get that win. And it's just a vicious circle of basically being a trading addict. When I see people just trading, you know, 23 hours a day, constantly talking about, you know, oh, I'm long here, I'm short here, oh, that was a winner, that was a loser, I missed that trade. You know, it's just, I don't think they're going to succeed in the long run. That's one thing too, is that I feel like people really, and somebody even said this to me, they're like, oh, that doesn't make sense, because if you have an edge, if you're actually good at trading, you should be trading as much as you can and make more money. Again, I don't think so. There's other aspects here as well. People are saying that in a very kind of binary sort of sense. You have to think about things like, think of sitting there in front of the computer for 10 hours straight. You're going to lose, you know, your edge just out of fatigue, hunger. You know, you stop paying attention, you get bored, so you start doing something else, and you put your focus back on it. You really do, I believe, lose your edge after a few hours. So that's why I would rather be committed to the 4 hours. All I'm going to do there is trade, and then I'm out. On top of that, there's more to life than just trading. If you can get yourself to the point where you can make a decent income trading 4 hours a day, that's a pretty good place to be in life. I don't understand. I mean, I understand why, but I think it's completely the wrong mindset for these people who just want to trade and do nothing else, but you're kind of missing out on life as well. There needs to be that balance there. Get over the I'm missing out on the action mentality. I don't buy into that at all. I think it's stupid. When people say that, I've already chalked them up to somebody who's probably going to fail at trading. Something else I didn't mention here, I'm just reading it now. The action in the market is very different at different times of day. There's a reason I choose to trade from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Sure, I could just trade the afternoon session if I want. Why start at 8 a.m.? Well, the reason is those are the best hours. That's when there is the most activity in the market. There's the best opportunity for my setups to work, is that 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. time frame. Someone, again, I see the people, trying to trade the morning, trade the afternoon, trade the evening session, and they're trying to apply this kind of blanket, trade setup to all those. The problem is the market dynamics are very different at those different times of day. So I'm not surprised when people kind of fail when they trade a lot. I'm also not surprised when they all of a sudden have a realization like, oh, wow, my setups work so much better, in the afternoons, but in the evenings I'm losing money. Yeah, the market dynamics are different. You probably, if you're going to do that, at least have some specific setups that you're going to use. So number 5 is to learn how to lose. So winning's easy, right? You enter a trade, it immediately goes, in your favor. Fantastic. If you want, you can move your break even, your stop to break even, I should say. At the worst case, you're breaking even. At the best case, you're making some money. So what's difficult for people is losing, and you need to focus on that. Everybody goes in thinking they're just going to pick off winners all day, and that's not the case. So if you're in a trade and it's going against you, you have to admit you were wrong, and you have to cut the trade. That goes back to the trade setups I was talking about. You have to have a plan. When a trade goes against you, what are you going to do? How far are you going to let it go against you? Are you going to have a stop loss? Are you going to have the discipline to cut your trade if it's wrong? Far too many people, trade goes against them, they just hang in there. Then they start using words like hope. It's the next point. Oh, I hope this trade comes back my way. I bet this can come back. Where's the buyers? They start saying all this stuff that the market does not care. The market does not care that you are long and the market is falling. My advice, you got to learn to take losers quick. You got to move on and you look for your next setup, and that's it. You have to realize that losing is part of the game. So get real comfortable with it. So my own statistics, I trade the treasuries. I'm currently, and this is a statistic which has been kind of, at least over a year now, hitting 63% win rate on average, 5% are break even. That means that 32% of my trades are losers. 3 out of 10, even a little bit more, are losers. And I have to be okay with that. And I have to know, okay, nope, I'm out of this. This is one of those times that this trade is not working out in my favor. I need to get the hell out, because what that does also is it frees you up to be available for the next trade setup. When you're in a trade, you're usually focused on, what's happening right now. You're not looking at it from a perspective of, oh, was there another setup here that I missed out on because I'm stuck in this trade? So you're far better off. And again, this is just my advice, and I know you're going to have to embrace it and you're going to have to make it work for yourself. But you got to say, you know what, this trade's going against me. I said I wouldn't take more than a 3-tick loser. It's a 3-tick loser. I need to close out. I need to move on to the next trade. If you actually have a strategy that works long term, this should be easy. You shouldn't be scared about getting out and losing trades, because or again, myself as an example, I know that 32% of trades are going to be losers. I have to be okay with just cutting, 1 out of 3 trades and saying, nope, this was one of those losers. Time to move on to the next one. And hey, maybe the next one's a winner. There's a, 2 out of 3 chance that it is. So let's give it a shot. And last point, if you haven't put in the work to really develop long-term strategies, then losing just gets really uncomfortable, because kind of deep down, that you don't have a path to success. You are just chasing the money. You are you're entering a trade and hoping that it goes your favor. When you're in the hole, the real test is when you're in a hole, you've had a few losing trades and now you're down. Now you got to dig yourself out, or at least that's the perceived, what needs to happen. Are you going to be able to stay cool and take the trade setups? Or do you just start randomly firing now because you're like, oh, I need to take a quick winner to get myself back to even? I didn't put it in here, but I'm going to say this as well. If you can take your P&L off your screen where you were at, up or down for the day, real important, really good move. Take some discipline to do that. It's real tough. When you're used to looking at your P&L all the time and all of a sudden now you just can't see it, it feels uncomfortable, but you have to get used to that. And I think it's valuable, because then you aren't focused on the dollars. You are just focused on taking good trades. And I will say that's an important thing. So some final points. Trading is a hard way to make an easy living. If you're here, I'm hoping a lot of this rings true. The whole people, trying to make it look like it's a quick get rich type of scheme where you can just start trading and make all this money. It's not. You are not going to talk to any long-time successful traders who are legitimate, who will tell you that this is just the easiest thing on earth. It is your new job. If you are looking to do this for an income, it's your job. Treat it like one and actually put in the work. Again, too many people looking for the quick, easy road out, and it's not that. Strive to be the best at trading that you can be. There's no easy win. And I say this for anything in life. Whatever you're going to do, strive to be the best at it. Strive to be really good at it. Strive to, master as much of it as you can. That's why I talk about things like, don't just trade crude oil. Understand what you are trading. What is that contract? What drives supply and demand? If anything, pick one thing, work on that, master it, then pick something else, master that, and move on. If you repeat that, you will start to see progress over time. I guarantee it. But you have to be committed to it, and you have to actually do it. So that ends my little spiel on 5 ways to get better at trading. Hopefully that helps some people out there. My website, we already looked at it, CanadianFuturesTrader.ca. All my social media stuff's on there, on the contact page, Instagram, Twitter. Again, my focus on my website is the funded futures trader programs. That wasn't so much the point of this video. But if you're looking to learn more about those, they're essentially prop firms or companies that will fund you. You can trade their capital if you can pass their evaluations and demonstrate that you have kind of what it takes. And, luckily a lot of those companies are nice enough to give me discounts and stuff to people who view my videos and go to my site. So there you go, guys. I want to thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I put out videos like this. I put out treasury trading videos, and I put out other videos as well, reviews and whatnot. I think you'll enjoy. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.